HOA demanded I trim hedges. I sculpted them into a giant middle finger instead. Have you ever wondered how far someone might go to stick it to a nosy neighbor? In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, where picket fences and manicured lawns were the unspoken law, Sarah Miller found herself at war with the Ironwood Homeowners Association. It all started with a single letter, slipped into her mailbox like a ticking time bomb. Your hedges are non-compliant. Trim them to regulation height within 48 hours or face a $500 fine. Sarah, a fiercely independent artist with a knack for turning chaos into beauty, wasn't about to let a bunch of clipboard-wielding Karens dictate her yard's destiny. What followed was a rebellion so bold, it left the neighborhood gasping and the HOA scrambling. The letter arrived on a sweltering June afternoon, the kind where the air shimmered and tempers flared. Sarah, sipping iced tea on her porch, read it twice, her eyes narrowing. Regulation height, her hedges, a lush, unruly wall of green, were her pride and joy, shielding her eclectic home from the cookie-cutter McMansions across the street. They weren't just plants, they were her canvas, her sanctuary. The HOA, led by the infamous Karen Whitaker, a woman whose smile was as fake as her spray tan, had been gunning for Sarah ever since she painted her mailbox in swirling turquoise. They want compliance? Sarah muttered, crumpling the letter. I'll give them something to talk about. That night, under the glow of a full moon, Sarah didn't sleep. She sketched, measured, and planned. By dawn, she was in her yard, hedge trimmers in hand, not to obey but to create. She worked for hours, sweat dripping, leaves flying, as neighbors peeked through blinds, whispering. Karen, ever vigilant, drove by in her pristine SUV, slowing to a crawl. Sarah waved cheerfully, her grin hiding a storm. She wasn't just trimming, she was sculpting. By sunset, her hedges stood transformed. A towering, unmistakable middle finger, 8 feet of leafy defiance aimed straight at the HOA's headquarters. Word spread like wildfire. By morning, Willow Creek was buzzing. Neighbors gathered, some horrified, others stifling laughter. Karen Whitaker stormed over, her heels clicking like gunfire on the sidewalk. This is an outrage, she shrieked, clutching her pearl necklace. You're defacing community standards. Sarah leaned on her rake, calm as a summer breeze. Defacing? Karen, it's art. Freedom of expression. You should try it sometime. The crowd murmured, torn between shock and admiration. Karen's face turned beet red, but before she could retort, a new voice cut through the chaos. It was Mr. Jenkins, the neighborhood's quiet recluse, a retired veteran who rarely spoke. He shuffled forward, his cane tapping, and pointed at the sculpture. I like it, he said gruffly. Reminds me of Nam, when we fought for freedom, not stupid rules. The crowd went silent. Jenkins, a man no one dared cross, had just thrown his weight behind Sarah. It was a twist no one saw coming, least of all Karen, whose mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. Emboldened, a few others nodded. It's creative, said Mrs. Lopez, a teacher who'd clashed with the HOA over her vegetable garden. The tide was shifting and Karen felt it. But Karen Whitaker wasn't one to back down. She rallied the HOA board, a clique of her loyal minions, and slapped Sarah with a $1,000 fine, upping the ante. They sent certified letters, posted notices on community boards, even tried to lien Sarah's house. We will not tolerate this vulgarity, Karen declared at an emergency HOA meeting, her voice dripping venom. She painted Sarah as a delinquent, a threat to property values. But Sarah wasn't fazed. She lawyered up, finding a pro bono attorney who specialized in HOA overreach. Together, they dug into Ironwood's bylaws, uncovering a goldmine. The HOA's own rules were riddled with contradictions, and their fines lacked legal teeth. The showdown came at the next HOA meeting, held in the community center under fluorescent lights that buzzed like angry bees. Karen presided, gavel in hand, ready to crush Sarah's rebellion. The room was packed, neighbors, reporters, even a local TikToker live-streaming the drama. Sarah walked in, her hedge sculpture's photo blown up on a poster board, and laid out her case. She exposed the HOA's shaky legal standing, their history of bullying, and Karen's personal vendetta. "This isn't about Hedges," Sarah said, her voice steady. "It's about control. They want to erase anyone who dares be different." Then came the coup de grace. Sarah's lawyer revealed that Karen had been skimming HOA funds for personal expenses $10,000 on consulting fees to her cousin's shell company. Gasps filled the room. Karen's gavel froze mid-air, her face draining of color. The TikToker's phone shook as he zoomed in. "You're lying," Karen stammered, but the evidence, pulled from public records Sarah's lawyer had unearthed, was ironclad. The crowd erupted, demanding answers. Neighbors who'd cowered under Karen's reign stood up, airing grievances. Unfair fines, ignored repairs, petty power plays. Karen's empire crumbled in real time. In the days that followed, Karen's fall was spectacular. The HOA board suspended her, pending an audit. Her SUV vanished from the neighborhood, rumors swirling she'd fled to her sister's condo in Florida. The fines against Sarah were dropped, and her hedge sculpture became a local legend, drawing selfie-snapping tourists and inspiring yard art across Willow Creek. Sarah, ever the artist, added fairy lights to the sculpture, making it glow defiantly at night. The HOA humbled, revised its bylaws under new leadership, promising transparency and fairness. Sarah stood on her porch one crisp evening, sipping tea, the middle finger hedge casting a long shadow. Mr. Jenkins hobbled by, tipping his hat. "You did good, kid," he said. She smiled, warmth spreading through her chest. She hadn't just won a fight, she'd sparked a quiet revolution, reminding her neighbors that freedom was worth fighting for, one leaf at a time. What do you think, was Sarah's bold move a stroke of genius or a step too far? Share your thoughts on who was right or wrong in this suburban showdown.